Good afternoon, my friend. It is the last day of 2021. Hard to believe. December 31st, it's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And the dogs and Lisa and Tata are sitting by the fire. And we have a New Year's Day episode for you tomorrow that we're going to bring in. Those two amazing people are going to make their appearances for the end of the year, and I hope that you'll write in and encourage Lisa to be on the show more next year because I think we need her. But she's going to be there tomorrow, and we are going to have some fun stuff to talk about on the first day of the year. And I hope you're getting your mind wrapped around what 2022 is supposed to be about for you next year. And don't make an operation out of it, right? I mean, your job really is to glorify and honor God with your life and to do the best you can every day. And so we always talk about New Year's resolutions and all those things, but the reality is just keep going, keep plugging, and you're going to be okay. So I'm excited about 2022. We got lots of fun stuff to talk about. I have already 3 really good, exciting interviews scheduled for January to bring you conversations on the podcast. We have Karen Swallow Pryor, one of my favorite writers. We have Philip Yancey coming on the show in January to talk about his new memoir and his amazing career. And, of course, you know how important he's been to me if you've been around for a while. And then we have one more exciting guest that I think is going to be fun for you that I'll tell you about later. One of the authors of one of my favorite books of 2021, a book called Hope Rising, Chan Helling, is going to be on the show, and that's going to be really exciting. We also have Morton Bunda, who's from Lego Group, who has written an incredible book about his impending blindness. He's got a genetic disorder that's leading him to go blind over time, and he's written an amazing book about that experience. It's really a hopeful, positive book, and we're going to have him on the show. We're just trying to nail that date down. We've had him scheduled twice, and both times my work has interrupted that, and so Morton's been very patient with me, but I'm just telling you, we're having some great stuff coming up on the show in the next few weeks. So the last day of the year, I just had one thought I wanted to share with you and give you just a few minutes of something to think about. And it comes out of Hebrews chapter 12. And I was thinking about this from watching Auburn football this year. And Tata and Lisa and I are big Auburn fans. Of course, we're also fans of Nebraska now that we live here, and I grew up in Oklahoma, so I'll always be a Sooners fan. And then we also, as a family, are sort of Texas A&M fans because we got our niece Madison went to Texas A&M, and we just have a lot of connections to Texas, of course. So we have lots of colleges that we root for. But we're all really at our core Auburn fans. And this year, being an Auburn fan was kind of a heartbreaking endeavor because they started strong. They were 6-2, ranked in the top 10, and then they had 5 consecutive losses to finish 6-7. And in every one of those games, they were ahead at one point. Even against Alabama, they were 10 points ahead in the fourth quarter and ended up playing a 4-overtime heartbreaking loss that really, in my opinion, won the Heisman Trophy for Alabama's quarterback, Bryce Young. He was an amazing athlete, but he took that game on his shoulders and took it over, and Auburn lost. So this game of watching Auburn football this year was really heartbreaking, and it kind of made me think about blown leads. And sometimes we have blown leads in our lives where we seem to be going okay and things are going pretty strong, and then something happens and we just kind of lose at the end when it seems like we were going to win, right? And it just seems like we were going strong, the game was going our way, and something happens. Global pandemic, cancer diagnosis, something happened somewhere, and we just fall apart at the end. And that made me think about Hebrews chapter 12. It was talking about the idea in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. And check this out. We got this huge crowd of witnesses, the great cloud of witnesses, NIV says. Now, who are they? They're the people who have gone on before. And I want you to think of it too, not just as your relatives and friends and people in heaven who are cheering you on, but your online community here, all of us, we're rooting for you. We're a great cloud of witnesses to the life that you're living. And we don't want to see you blow the lead. And so I'm going to give you some encouragement this year. How do you do it? How do you press in? And when the game seems to be falling apart and you seem to be losing, I watched it happen with Mississippi State against Auburn this year. Auburn had a 25-point lead in that game, and it was just like one thing after another, and you could feel the momentum shifting, and you could see the Auburn players just their willpower to win that game just disappeared, and it became inevitable. Even when Auburn was still ahead, we just all knew it was happening. We knew they were going to lose that game, and they did. And the most important part about that was they knew they were going to lose it too. And so here's where it changes for you. The last day of 2021, and whatever's happened this year and last year and years before, whatever's happened where you felt like you were winning and now it seems like you're losing, like your life has become something you didn't think it would be, or he didn't do that thing, or she did that thing, or the doctor said this, or the pandemic did that, or you lost your job, or you got cancer, or whatever's happened, and all of a sudden you feel like things are never going to be okay again. I just want you to remember the prescription is right here in Hebrews chapter 12. Now also, one scripture I want you to remember, Proverbs 24:10, if you falter in time of trouble, how small is your strength? If you falter in times of trouble, how small is your strength? Listen, Jesus promised us in John 16:33, there's going to be trouble. He says it in no uncertain terms. In this world, you will have trouble. At the back end of that sentence, he says, but take heart, I have overcome the world. In John 10:10, he says, I came that you might have life and have it abundantly, right? So Jesus doesn't want you to have it become inevitable in your life that you're going to lose. No matter what's going on, here's the prescription. He says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily entangles. So here's the thing. You're behind in the fourth quarter. You've blown a big lead. Call a different play. Don't keep running the same play over and over. That's getting you in trouble, right? Don't keep trying the same thing. If you can't find hope, look for it in a different place. Stop looking for it in the doctor's office. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. I'm saying stop thinking that anything but faith and hope will give you the kindling, the rekindling that you need in your spirit. Okay? Start running a different play. Strip off every weight that slows you down, especially the sin that so easily trips you up, and let run with endurance the race God has set before us. Here's how you do it. Verse 2, we do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame, and he is now seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. Listen, we can look at Jesus just like a team looks to the coach on the sidelines or looks to the quarterback in the huddle, and he says, guys, I got it. Follow me. Here's what we're going to do. It's going to be okay. That's what we do. We fix our eyes on Jesus. He calls the play. We strip off the stuff that isn't working. We change cleats if we need to get better traction. We change it up, and we strip away the things that are holding us back, and we press on with endurance to win the race that we've been called to. That's what 2022 is going to be for you, friend. It's going to be the year that you strip off everything that's been holding you back. You decide to change things, because remember, we said earlier before, if you choose not to change it, you're choosing to keep it, right? If there's something in your life that is keeping you stuck and you choose not to change it, you're choosing to keep it. So make a different choice. If it hasn't been working for you, make a different choice. And tonight's the last night of 2021. Make a decision that tomorrow's going to feel different than yesterday felt. Make a decision that your steps are going to be ordered differently tomorrow than they were last year. Make a decision. Decide that it's going to be different. I'm going to play Tommy Walker's song, Water into Wine. And Tommy Walker's been our kind of unofficial sponsor. And I've been telling you about him all year. We've been listening to his music. He's been on the show a couple of times. We just love his ministry. Lisa and I donate to Tommy Walker Ministries because they provide worship resources to people all over the world for free. And you can help support that at TommyWalkerMinistries.org. But Tommy did a musical concert through the Book of John in Songs, a great album. You can get it on iTunes or Spotify, wherever you want. But one of those songs we used as our intro music and theme music for the show for season 2. And I might bring it back next year because I love it. Water into Wine. And the idea of that song is Jesus can change your life just like he changed water into wine. I'm always telling you what? You can't change your life until you change your mind. Well, I want you to sing it. I want you to think about it as the year's going out. You got to do something to change your life. And the first thing you do is you change your mind. Paul says it here, or whoever wrote Hebrews, some people think it was Paul. Since you're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, we are cheering you on. We don't want to see you blow that lead. We don't want to see you give up. We don't want to see you lose. We want to see you win. And the prescription is to strip off everything that's holding you back, friend, to get rid of sin if it's part of your issue, and keep your eyes on Jesus. He'll change your life just like he changed water into wine. But you can't change your life until you change your mind. I want you to have an amazing New Year's Eve, but an even better 2022. And whatever's going on, let us know. WLE1MD.com/prayer, WLE1MD.com/newsletter if you're not connected, and WLE1MD.com/voicemail to let us hear your voice. We'd love to play some of those on the show for tomorrow and coming episodes. Check out focusonthefamily.org. They played my interview again yesterday. Just an amazing honor to be chosen as one of the top 5 interviews in Focus on the Family for the year. And it was a great show. And if you haven't heard it, go check it out. WLE1MD.com/focus, I think still works. But if not, focusonthefamily.org definitely has that interview up on their homepage. Listen, friend, Lisa loves you. Tata loves you. I love you. Harvey and Lewis love you. And we're pulling for you. If you got some blown leads, if you got some things that have been holding you back, just press in. Change your life by changing your mind and start today. Here's Tommy Walker. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2022 tomorrow. God bless you, my friend.
Water into wine, water into wine, change my life like water into wine. He filled me up with this grace and this love, changed my life like water into wine. Help me sing, water into wine, water into wine, it changed my life like water into wine. Oh, he filled me up with this grace and this love, it changed my life like water into wine. Ooh, many saw the signs that he performed. Many trusted and believed in his name. And only he can meet our deepest need, just like he did in me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Water into wine, water into wine. It changed my life like water into wine. Oh, he filled me up with this grace and this love. It changed my life like water into wine. He is the God who can do anything. So many miracles still he will bring.